It's good to see you guys. And let me just say that on a Tuesday like this, when the year is almost finished, I'm glad going live again. I am going live every single day from now until my book launch, or every single weekday. Let me see if I can do it every single day. We'll see. That's my dad's piano right there. He doesn't have a walking stick. This is actually my grandfather's walking stick. So we have it still, and it's pretty sturdy. And I have a cricket ball in my hand because why not? But if you're watching this, I want to show you if you have a 720 credit score, there's literally nothing stopping you from financial freedom. And I'm going to explain why by the end of this video. As I said, I plan to go often. So each of these videos is going to cover a new topic. So if you haven't subscribed already, promise you should subscribe because I'm really going to be diving into some topics. I have my book coming out, so I'm really dialed into talking about money over the next few months with you. Okay. So if you have a 720 credit score, one, I know that you're watching this video specifically because you're in a US context, right? So in the USA, credit scores are measured between 300 and 850, right? So a 720 credit score is great credit and above 780 is excellent credit. There really is no difference once you pass 780. Everything above that is just, bragging, a couple of screenshots on social media, whatever. But 720 is really where the game starts, right? So if you're not at 720 yet, get to 720 and then watch this video. Now, 720, here's why you can make so much money from having good credit. People don't realize, but if you're outside of the US, this might actually shock you. In the US, your credit score allows you to do things like get cheaper car insurance, right? It allows you to rent houses, that allows rent an apartment, that allows you to get a car. Your credit score is responsible for so much that if you don't have a good credit score, trust me, you are going to feel it, right? If you don't have a good credit score, you're going to feel it because everything in your life is going to be more expensive. Calling the ambulance is going to be more expensive for you, right? Getting a job. There's some jobs that you can't get if you have a bad credit score. Why? Because they're assuming that if you have a bad credit score, then you're not good with managing money. It gets that serious. That's why you need to have your credit score in order because there are certain things that you can't do if you don't have a good credit score. It's very real. Now, you might not know this. Again, if you're not in the USA, you have no idea. But I'm telling you, in the USA, this matters. Okay, cool. So, back to, you know, understanding credit score in the USA. So, it affects so many different things. The next thing that it affects greatly is how much money you can have access to. One of the most difficult things for an entrepreneur, a business owner, someone starting out, in fact, you probably have this watching, is that they struggle to find capital to start their business. Everybody complains about this. Okay. Where do I find money from to start a business? No one is giving me money. I ask my friends to support me. I ask the bank for money. They say no. I ask my friends for money. They say no. I ask investors for money. They say no. Saying, where do I find money to grow my business? Okay. So let me tell you, take it from someone. My first credit card was $500. That's all I started with. My first credit card ever was only $500. And now my total credit limit is over half a million. Let me repeat that. My first credit card was $500. So from 500 to 5,000 to 50,000 to 500,000. That's the difference in capital that I have access to now. So then why would I want that? Why would I want that? Because if you have more money, then you can invest more and you have more chances to figure it out in your business. You can scale more. If an opportunity comes up, no longer do you need to say, no, I don't have the capital right now. Instead, you can say, actually, I do have the capital. I just need to know what the return on investment is and my risk. And this is the difference. Once you have access to capital, you can do that. Somebody's coming in. All right, cool, cool, cool. How you starting? How you doing? How you doing? Tell me where you're watching from. Don't just be a stranger. Tell me where you're watching from. As I said, I like developing this community. You're not just a number here. You're a face. So obviously we have top fans here. Mr. Money is in the building. Not Mr. Money. Mr. Monk is in the building. Top fan. Good to see you, my friend. I always appreciate when you guys pop in. So I'm talking about why understanding credit makes so much sense, right? So this is specifically for people in the US. Makes a lot more sense if you're in the US. Okay, cool. So understanding. I started at $500. $500 was where my credit started. This is my grandfather's walking stick, by the way. $500 is where my credit started. And then I moved from $500 to $500,000. Why? Because I understood credit. So then, if you have a 720 credit score, here's what you can do. Understand, personal credit is one thing, but then you need to get over to business credit to understand to fully take advantage of this. So you actually want to maybe write some notes right now because I'm going to give you the game. Okay. If you have a 720 credit score, you have to understand that there's a couple of things that you can do. What we show people how to do is that you can take your personal credit score, we can get your credit limits over to 20,000, 25,000, 30,000, 50,000, right? So then you're going to go to Chase, you're going to go to American Express, you're going to go to Capital One, you're going to go to a couple of different credit unions, right? So then you're going to take all of these on your personal credit. So then you go to Chase. Chase is probably going to give you a $5,000, a $10,000. Then you go over to American Express, you do the same thing, right? Then you're going to go over to Capital One, they're going to give you the same thing. Discover is going to give you the same thing, right? Then you're going to go to maybe Bank of America, Wells Fargo. So then you have all these banks together. Remember, you're not going to use these cards and you're not going to do this at one time, right? There's a limit to how much you can do. So then, actually, if you have questions about this, send me an email, message me, let's get connected, right? But what I'm saying is that you can go to each of these banks. Why is that faster? The reason why it's faster is that Chase might give you 5 grand, but then American Express might give you seven. And then if you go to Capital One, they might give you another three. Then if you go to Bank of America, they might give you another five. And if you go to Wells, they might give you another eight. Now you put all this together, your credit limit starts to look good. Now you're at $30,000, $40,000 from each of these banks. Many entrepreneurs are trying to raise money from one person, from one bank. That's not how that works. You have to go to multiple banks and actually get access to all of these lines of credit, all of these credit cards. You see what I'm saying? I know you might be thinking, but Kadeem, aren't credit cards expensive? No, it depends on how you do it. So I'll come to that next. People don't even realize that on the personal side alone, you have credit cards that give you 0% interest for up to 21 months. This is a very real card. 21 months. That's a year and 9 months. Is that right? Yes. A year and 9 months. 1 year and 3 quarters of the next one, you're paying 0% interest. Now, think about that. Think about how that would change the game for you, right? Just imagine if you had $10,000 to play with for more than a year and a half. Would that be valuable? Yes. And that's only one credit card, which means that if you're planning this out correctly, you can play 0% interest from one card to the next card to the next card for the next 5 to 10 years. I show people how to do this. I'm telling you it's possible because you have someone that started with a $500 credit card and went up to 500,000, right? It's no BS. This is why I go live so that you can see this is really me. You want to test me, you want to know if I'm live, comment something and I'll repeat it, right? Don't just come in here and be silent. Don't be boring, all right? Let's spread the knowledge. And I'm putting this on live so that someone else can also watch this after, okay? Someone said something. Let me see. Having a confidence is one thing. I'd support you for that, but I'm not going to listen to someone with no shirt telling me anything. So put a shirt on. Okay, cool. Here's what you can do. Find somebody else. In fact, if you keep talking, I'm going to just block you because remember, this is my channel, not yours. That's all. So I'm going to keep going. So when it comes to understanding credit, one thing about it is when you get to financial freedom, you're gonna do what you want. So then you can just, anyway, let's get back to it, right? Understand. Once you're actually developing your limits, you get to credit card. Listen to the knowledge. Don't get distracted by things that don't matter. Listen to the knowledge. Once you get your personal credit up, you're about $30,000, $40,000 in from multiple banks, right? The next thing that you're going to do is that you're actually going to start your business LLC. Understand that you want your business LLC or an S Corp. Why? Because that's on the business side. You're going to start actually developing your business credit. Then what do you actually do with your business credit? This is where it gets fun. All right, so then check this out. If you take all of that on your personal side and you take it over to your business side does not report to your personal side if you use your entire credit limit. Why is that important? Because everybody understands that if you start using your credit, your score might go down. That doesn't happen on the business side. That happens less on the business side, doesn't happen at all. Why? Because they expect you to use your credit. Why would you give a business access to $10,000 and then they not use it? They don't want that. They want to see you use the entire 10,000 or the entire 20,000. So then they're going to give you more limits. So then now you have one $10,000 card and they're going to turn that into 20. Amex is going to give you 20. So then if you have a personal card on Amex, that's 3,000. They're going to go ahead and give you $10,000 on the business side. If Chase gave you $5,000 on the personal, they're going to give you 15 on the business side. I'm telling you because I've seen them do this often, right? I have personal and business cards from Chase, Chase Bank alone. Chase Bank alone, I think they've given me over $100,000. Chase Bank alone, right? So then my business credit card, my smallest business credit card is bigger, like 50 or 60% bigger than my largest personal card because business credit is where the magic happens. I hope you're understanding the game. You really need to get over into business credit. Okay. So then once you're over in business credit, here's actually what happens. All right. So then once you're in business credit, you're going to take that money that the banks gave you, then you're going to actually invest into something that makes you money. How do you take it and invest into something that makes you money? All right. I'll tell you this. So then let's say you now have $50,000 in business credit. Remember, you're going to say, okay, I have 0% interest for 21 months, a year and 9 months. Okay. So then how can I make money from the $50,000 that Chase Bank just gave me and have an asset that continues to pay me? You can do vending machines. I like cash flow rentals, right? You can go ahead and do, an ATM machine if you want to. You can go ahead and do, maybe buy a small car wash, right? You can buy some equipment that so then you can go on Amazon and get those power washing things so you can start doing people's lawn. You can go ahead and buy a lawnmower with that. There's so many things that you can do. You can start your plumbing business with that. That's what I'm saying. So then now you're taking the bank's money and you're going to make money from the bank's money. Pay the bank back, keep the asset. So then the bank just gave you a lawnmower out of their money so that you can go ahead and make money from it. Remember, it's 0% interest for a year and 9 months. So they're giving you this for free. For up if you can't make back the money that you invested into a lawnmower or a vending machine in 1 year and 9 months, come on, that's so much time. And then remember, that's one credit card. So then if you do it again and again with different credit cards, you can go up to 5 years. If you can't make that money back in 5 years, if you can't turn $50,000 into $100,000 in 5 years, 5 years in a business, man, you have other problems. I hope you're starting to see what I'm saying. People are trying to rely on their friends or investors or the bank to raise them money. But if you have a 720 credit score, that is literally all you need to go and make money. Are you actually hearing this? Where's your money? I like your confidence, by the way. I appreciate you. Boga. I hope I said that right, brother. I'm not trying to pronounce your name incorrectly. I appreciate your comments. Where's your money? My money. Two things. One, I'm retired, so I travel. Right now, I'm in Jamaica. I'm with my dad, having a great time. But I travel very often, and so my money is wherever I am. Right. So I made money from real estate. That's why I'm retired. That's why I can talk like this. I guess the confidence that you're hearing is because I've done this so many times. So I'm not talking. You notice I have no script because I'm talking from things I've actually done. Right. I'm talking from experience. It's not made up. Right. But put on a shirt, please. You should go to the beach. I wonder what you say to the people at the beach. Anyway, lock back in. All right, so let's continue. Right? It's how you know this is not. pre-recorded because I'm actually answering your questions, right? I'm live. So then how do you actually get money from your credit cards? I show people how you can take your credit cards. So now you have $50,000 in credit. But then sometimes, obviously, let's say you need to pay rent. Do you pay rent with your credit card? How do you pay rent with your credit card? How do you get cash off of your credit card? How do you liquidate your credit card? Log back in. Okay. So then you have $50,000 now. This is the last thing I'm going to talk about because this is so important. But you don't want to miss this. If you have a 720 credit score, there is nothing stopping you from making a lot of money. Okay. So then, how do you take money off the card? One, one way to do this that people love to do is that they go ahead and they go to a casino. They say, "Hey, let me get $50,000 on the table." They buy a soda and then they leave. And then what happens when you leave? They say, "Hey, you did not use 49,000 something, something, something dollars. What do you want with it?" They're going to give you a check. People do this all the time in a casino. That's why casinos print money. And they give you a check and you just spend it on your card. That's one. Two, if you go to a business and you ask for a refund, you pay with your credit card and you say, "You know what? I don't want the service anymore. Let me get a refund." And they say, "How do you want the refund?" You tell them cash. You now have cash off that purchase from your credit card. I'm going to give you another one. On a lesser level, you have gift cards. If you go to the store and you purchase a Visa gift card, $500, $500 Visa gift card. You can put $500. No, this is not obviously the entire 50, but you can put $500, put it on a Visa gift card, and that Visa gift card is as good as cash because that's a debit card, no longer a credit card. All right. Now we're rolling. Now we're rolling. I keep going. Another method for you to use. You have cash advance. Now, cash advance is a little bit more expensive, but credit unions like Navy Federal, for example, they want you to use the cash advance feature. So then they charge you less penalty. So then one of the things that I love about Navy Federal Credit Union is that you can tell them, "Hey, I'm actually trying to take off $10,000," and they will just wire it from your credit card into your checking account on Navy Federal. Man, if you guys don't subscribe, they will take it from your credit card in Navy Federal and put it as cash into your checking account. Why would they do that? Because they want you to stay with Navy Federal. They don't want to lose your business. So then now you have a credit card and they're going to give you cash. How amazing is that? No longer do you need to struggle to find capital. You can literally just go to the banks, know which bank to go to, understand what they're looking for, get your docs in order, and then go and get the money. You understand what I'm saying? You don't need to be in 2026 without cash to grow your business. You don't need that. Let 2025 be the last year that you are going out there without money to make money. I wish that for every single one of you, which is why I come on, I'm giving you the game. So then, here's what we talked about. I showed you how to get your personal credit from zero to 25, 30,000, 40,000. Personal credit. When you do that, you take, and that shouldn't cost you money, by the way. Shouldn't cost you extra money because this is things that you're paying already. For example, I asked the question, how do you pay rent with your credit card? I want to Google a service called Plastique. P Plastiq. Plastiq. Plastic. Plastic. I don't know which one you prefer. Plastiq. Plastic. You can pay your rent using your credit card. All right, let me keep going. All right. Then, once your personal is above $30,000, you take your business, start your business, start your LLC. The sooner you start your LLC, the better it is because once you start to develop that age on your LLC, the better it is. So start it as soon as possible. Even if you don't think you need it, you do. Because if you've ever been a dog walker, if you've ever been a babysitter, if you've ever mowed someone's grass, guess what? That's a business. All of those are businesses. Every single one of us is involved in a business. Doesn't matter. So go ahead and start your LLC so that you actually benefit from having all of this free labor. Well, not free labor, but all of this labor. You can save on taxes, you can grow your credit. You go ahead, you go over to the business credit side. Then you start going from 10,000 to 50 to 100 to 150. You go to Chase, you ask them for money. You go to American Express, you ask them for money. Go to Bank of America, you ask them for money. Wells Fargo, you ask them for money. You go to Navy Federal Credit Union. You go to Digital Credit Union. You, man, I'm gonna keep going. But I have a list of 100 banks that does this. And if you want it, you can just send me an email or join us on Facebook because we literally do this all day. But I'm giving you the game so that for someone who's watching this and understanding what it takes, they have some of the information. Again, if you want us to do this for you, we do this for people. You don't need to actually figure it out. But I want you to know that it is possible that you don't need to go into 2026 if you have a 720 credit score. Don't go into 2026 without money. That's a thing of the past, man. Literally so much money to be made. Your financial freedom literally waiting on you. You can go ahead and get your house, right? Go ahead, start that trucking business. Go ahead and start that online business. All you need is the cash to do it. And if you have a 720 credit score, cash is not a problem for you. Just information. All right, guys. If you can see it in your hand, you can. If you can see it in your head, you can hold it in your hand. Seeing is believing. So, with that said, I'm gonna leave you guys. I'm gonna carry on with the rest of my day. Um, Hope you guys got the message. Make sure that you subscribe if you've watched this far. Okay. Peace out.